Hey, what's going on out there, you guys? It's your girl, Pretty Sexy Gyro the Brand, aka Stoner the Assistant, coming to you with a review slash recap of House of Villains Season 3, now over on Peacock. Baby, we're finna get into episode 1. And let's just say it's going to be a very, very hot and interesting season. I mean, we have the TV icon herself, Miss Jackie Christie, and HBIC head in charge, Miss Tiffany Pollard. I mean, what more could you ask for? It's more reality TV mush, 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 and greatness all in one house. Now, baby, I don't know if the other villains are ready, but I know I am. And y'all, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know which villain you're rooting for this season in the house. And, baby, before we even get in there, we get a little uh, 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 a dance number from the villains outside, baby. And I'm feeling how they getting down. But it's day 1, and let's meet our first villain arriving into the house. So our first villain that we meet is Tom from Vanderpump Rule. If you know, Tom had a very big cheating scandal that was like all throughout the social media streets and basically page 6 news, wherever you can find news, Tom was in it and he got a lot of heat his season on the show for his cheating scandal. And him being in the House of Villains, is it surprising? No. But I find it very interesting, and just to see that he is the first guest that we see that has arrived in the home, I think is very, very interesting and telling because he may be one of our lasting longer players, or he may be the first to get the axe. You just never know in the House of Villains, baby. And the title of the episode is titled Third Time's a Charm. So let's see where things is finna go. But as we see, Tom is making his way through the house. He goes upstairs. He sees his puppet on the wall, and of course, they shows his BravoCon outfit. And I thought it was very nice. But he said sometimes in life we all make decisions and choices, and that was a decision. That was a choice. But as he heads upstairs and he walks around, and he looks into the rooms, he sees that there's a bag there. But y'all, we haven't seen anybody yet in the house. So, who's already here? That's the real question, and that's the real gag. Yes, 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 y'all. So our next villain that we meet is Christine Swin, and she's from Selling Sunset. And baby, she said you already know why she's here because guess what? They said she was the villain on the show, so why not come and be on the House of Villains? I'm loving her outfit, all pink, very cute, blonde hair, and I mean it's just giving Barbie doll, but Barbie doll with the bag, okay? And baby, as she walks into the house, the first person that she meets is Tom. And let's just say she said she know who Tom is. She remember the tea in the blog blowing up in the news. And Tom got on their makeup. He got on Mac, MC, and she was like, so Tom's her guy. She can rock with Tom. But Tom does inform her that he found a bag upstairs and he doesn't know who it is. And, they seem to be hitting it out very well. And I'm just like, so what is the strategy gonna be? Because guess what? If Tom is our first guy, who's gonna be next? And baby, it's like I said, he's spilling the tea to our girl. We're gonna find out who our guest already is inside of this home. So yes, yes, yes. It's Tom and Kristen go back upstairs. Baby, they go into the room where Tom says he tells Kristen he saw the bag. And baby, let's just say we get in there, we hear a toilet flush. And baby, and the next thing you know, we see the doorknob turn. And who is it? It is our girl, Miss Tiffany New York Pollard up in this thing. And she walked out and she was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Hi, hi. Everybody's gagging, fanning out because like I said, our girl Miss Tiffany New York Parlor, she laid the foundation for reality TV. I mean, and especially being one of the girls, especially being a villain, because guess what? She shook every room she walked in. Do your research, do your history, but she's gagging, having conversation, and our girl New York City, she don't know some of the people. And so, yes, y'all. After we find out Miss Tiffany is our third villain in the house, baby, we meet our next villain, and it is RuPaul's Drag Race season 16 villain, plain Jane pulling up to the house, blonde hair, baby ponytail, body yaddy yaddy, heels serving, coming in, and we get a little recap and reintroduction to our girl Plain Jane and how she became the villain of her season on season 16. And baby, she said she was a little strategized and she knows coming into the house of villains, baby, she has to be strategic. And she's talking to Tiffany, she's talking to Christina, and she's talking to Tom. They're having drinks. And New York tells her, girl, you might want to go upstairs and get your room. And she said, oh, it's that kind of situation. And they say, yeah, it's that kind of situation. Baby, oh, this is going to be a season of villains. Do you hear me already? So our next villain to arrive is Paul, and Paul is from Big Brother. And baby, let's just say Paul is very much so a game player, and he says, he got called a manipulator on his season. But why would we not? Why would we be watching this show if we didn't want to see a manipulator? And I'm just kind of like, wow. Interesting statement and interesting way to come into the house, but nice to meet you, Paul from Big Brother. Paul comes in with a Victorian chest, baby. He says cursed objects and hunted goodies that he cannot sleep without. I know he is going to be a trip inside of this house because as soon as he walks in, he comes in. Everyone's upstairs. We see Tom walking downstairs, and Paul's like he wonders how many guys are in the house, how many girls are in the house, and the first person he actually meets is Tom. And baby, the ladies are like, "Wait, someone else is here," and they're all kind of screaming. I'm telling you, this has a really good vibe. I just know this is gonna be a good season. And our next villain to pull up to the house is Tyson from Survivor. Now, Tyson says he's been on Survivor 4 times. He's only won once, but he is definitely ready to play the game and has what it takes. And baby, when he came into the house, he came upstairs. Everyone was like, wait, someone else is here. Everyone is gagging. And of course, he is excited to see Miss Tiffany New York Pollard. They hug, baby, and they get to talking. He said, you already know who I need to talk to about the game. And then they go, and he goes to find his room. And come to find out, he's going to room with Tom. So we have Tyson and Tom in the same room. Tyson says, he's a dad and he's there because he has a family and of course he wants to play for the chance to win money. And who win? Okay, I ain't mad at it. And our next guest to arrive, you already know I'm super excited. It is our girl, Miss Jackie Christie, aka Mother Christie from Basketball Wives. And baby Jackie says she is in the House of Villains because guess what? She brings the women together. She holds the table. She gives them. She informs them. Baby, we get these clips, and baby, I'm just saying, my girl Miss Jackie is coming in here, and she ain't playing with y'all. She got them boots on. She got the girls up to the heavens. She like, y'all finna get into the mother. Jackie walking in house. She said, hello. Everybody came running downstairs. New York City. Oh, she knows Miss Jackie Christie. And baby, she is true iconic royalty. Okay. Thank you. So, y'all, our next villain to arrive in the house is Ashley from The Challenge. And, baby, Ashley is a million, okay? And, baby, let's just say she's coming in very pink, very live, very colorly. And I am living for her vibe. She won the challenge. And, baby, let's just say she's definitely in the house of villains and she says she sees why she may be called a villain. Baby, when I tell y'all the villains is coming in hot, baby, Jackie upstairs trying to get in the room or tell the girls like, hey, she gonna sleep in this room, not this room. She's not dealing the vibe with a gargoyle. She gonna sleep in the room with New York and New York's energy is about a particular energy, baby. And Plain Jane is in the mix, baby. It's a lot going on, okay? And when Ashley came in, she had a conversation. Everybody was like, "Oh, Ashley, how long has it been since you've been on TV or on your show?" And she's like, "It's actually only been 4 weeks." And I'm like, "Okay, girl, this what you do. Keep the bottle rolling. Keep clocking in while clocking in." And it's just seeming to be a vibe. I'm really, really digging. I'm really, really feeling. And when we go back upstairs, New York is telling Miss Jackie that there is no shower. There's only one tub. And Jackie like, wait, what? Baby, when I say the villains is villain, the villains are villain. Okay. And our next villain to enter the house is Johnny from Love Island season 2. And let's just say Johnny has a certain appeal about him, which is the sex appeal, and can definitely see why he was picked for Love Island. He said, he was called selfish and about the other things, but you know, he doesn't consider himself a villain, but he may be, and he's here for the cash, baby, and he's got his eye on the prize. He walks in, everyone's standing in the foyer, and baby, let's just say when he comes in, everybody gets really hot, really flustered because he is very, very attractive. And baby, he's going around, he's talking, he's introducing himself, he's shaking hands. And let's just say things are getting steamy between him and Kristen. Okay, okay. But we're waiting on one more villain to arrive at the house, and baby, let's just say she's already coming in swearing. Our next guest, our next villain is Kate from Below Deck, and baby, Kate said, she could be a witch, and she's proud of that. She takes all honor in that. And babes, let's just say we get a playback of when she was on Below Deck and on Traders. And Kate just really, baby, let's say when Kate get mad, okay? And Kate don't care about nothing. She walks in, she speaks, everyone speaks to her, and she walks over and she sticks her hand out to New York and she says, what's your name? Excuse me? Girl, you know who Tiffany Pollard is. Girl, she the reason why you on this. Girl, anyway, things get already awful to a little tension. So Tyson breaks things up and says, "Hey, so you want to go look for your room, or you want to go look around the house, or what you want to do?" In New York, it's like, "Girl, stop holding your hand out." Bye. Doop, 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 doop. Child. So then, we go back downstairs. We get into this whole room situation. So Kate doing upstairs, chose her bed in the room, go back downstairs, tell everybody which bed she had chose. And why this lady then chose Jackie bed? Jackie said, "Oh, this my bed." But once again, a little tension, no drama, cause Kate's like, "Oh well, I'll move, it's fine." Whose room's available? And come to find out the only room available is with New York. And New York's like, huh? She's like, how you like your roommate? Who said that? New York's like, wait a minute. She was like, well, you got a big mouth. You talk a lot. Maybe we can get along. I don't know. We'll see. You're very outspoken. I like it a little bit. And I'm just like, oh my God. But y'all, as we go from there, and we get another car pulling up to the house, and baby, it is another iconic TV personality. It is Drita from Mob Wives. Baby, if you know, you know, she came in the house and Plain Jane starstruck. Baby, everybody was like, oh my God. Okay, House of Villains. I see how we doing. Pulling up. Yeah, 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 yeah. Child. Drita then got in the house and things is rocking and rolling. And baby, come to find out there are 10 beds. Drita's number 11. And there's no 11th bedroom. And baby, we get a situation. Because guess what? We don't know what's gonna go on, what's gonna happen. Drita trying to find a room. She run upstairs. She runs into New York. They've hung out. It's all love. They did another show together. So they know how the game goes. And baby, let's just say Drew is about to snap out because she's just like, where's my bed? Where am I supposed to be sleeping? Like production, like people, somebody tell me. And Johnny says maybe someone is going home tonight, which then kind of leads the eyes to like, well, what's gonna make that go on to question? So now what's gonna go on in the house of villains? Like, so while the villains are in the house, everyone's getting settled in, everyone's like eating and mingling. We get a message from our host over the intercoms telling the villains to line up outside because he has a special guest or a special gift, I should say, for them. And baby, the villains go outside and there is a big box in a bowl and they are trying to figure out what is finna go on and what is finna happen in the house of villains in episode one, Third Time's the Charm. Child, the box open up and y'all in the middle is a lever. All the villains are basically trying to decide if the lever should be pulled or not because there seems to be a timer on it, and the only person that is brave enough to pull it is Tyson. Tyson said, "Now in shows like this, whenever they put something like that out, they want you to do it because either like you gain or either you may get sent home." And he says, "You know what is that? What's worse that could happen? He could just get sent home." And it's just like the calm, relaxing attitude. But when he pulled it, an alarm went off. They said release the bees, and everybody took off running. Tyson said he knew everybody was scared. He wasn't though. He was ready. And then the next thing you know, we hear the villains get told to go to the front and stand in front of the patio where the cameras are pointed. Okay. So yes, yes, yes. As the villains line up out front, baby, guess what? The host Joel Michael comes in on a bike with his husband, and baby, it's a motor rage. And they come in, and it's just giving a vibe. The villains are happy, excited, and he starts to tell the villains hi, thanking them for joining. It's the longest show he's been a part of. Just cutting and making jokes, whatever, with the people. And maybe the next thing you know, we get into the rules, the newest villains in the houses, the OG villains in the houses, and then, like I said, how the game should be played and how the challenges will be consistent and who will become the house's super overall villain, baby. So after the villains hear how the game is going to be played, Joel asks who pulled the lever in the back. Tyson raises his hand, and the next thing you know, he tells Tyson he's banished, and everyone is gagging. I'm over here gagging because I'm like, this is only episode one. Wait. So come to find out, y'all, Tyson is really not kicked out of the house. Actually, Tyson is the house's super villain, and he actually has his own suite, and he will remain to have his own suite as long as he's in the house as the super villain. So as they are all congratulating him, they also find out that there's going to be a twist. So normally in the House of Villains, they play for the super house of villain, but since they already have one, they are going to play for something else. And let's just say everyone is gagged but excited. And you can kind of see the look on their faces. Joel, Liz, and Baby, let's just say I can't wait to see what games they are finna get into and finna play, babes. Child, and after Tyson receives his sweet key, they go back in the house. Everyone goes to Tyson's room and they see the supervillain suite, baby. And let's just say the players are already cooking up plans in action. Tom is trying to talk Tyson into giving the room away. Tyson is listening to it. They end up really giving the room to Plane. After going through all of the villains in the house, they said the room would be best for Plane because Plane has to prep and get in and out of, you know, the geesh, the drags. And maybe then we see our girl Plane go in the room and tell the girls, hey, I think they put me in that room because they want y'all to vote me out. I'm not sure. They say, no, 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 no. And then Jackie says, tomorrow, 3 people are going to be on the chopping block for elimination. And Eric was like, oh, baby, this season House of Villains already given what's supposed to be gave. So yes, y'all. It's the next day, the next morning, and everyone is getting up. And let's just say the game has begun because you see some of the villains in the kitchen talking to Tyson, trying to smooth him over and work their magic with butter. And then we have the OGs, Jackie, New York, and Paul. And baby, you know, when I say OGs, I mean like the OGs of their shows, but they're just all sitting, they like, and they're like discussing and talking about what everyone else is doing, how everybody else is playing the game currently. And then all of a sudden, over the intercom in the house, they get a message and they are getting to prepare for today's challenge, and it has to do with professionalism. I wonder what this task is going to be as the villains get ready. So yes. As the villains have gotten ready for their challenge, and baby, it is titled "Welcome to Corporate Hell." So basically, they're working in hell, and they're going to work in different departments of sin in this challenge, and I think it's very interesting and very fun. And it just seems like instead of getting a super villain, since Tyson is already that, they are actually going to win for the opportunity to not be put up for elimination. And that is even better. But they have 5 different challenges. They could not do less because they did not want to have to bleep and blur out so much. But the teams had to divide into 5 and Tyson sitting out. It just was very interesting to see the team set up in their dynamics and everyone pick their parts and pieces. To win the challenge, they have to take a selfie at the end with a broken glass that they've put back together. And I cannot wait to see this challenge and how the teams are going to execute and do them. But everyone is so down to play. Like House of Villains is such a show I would love to do. It's got a vibe to it. Come on. So the purple team won, which was playing James' team, and she had Johnny on there. And up for elimination is Paul, Jackie, and New York. And all I can say is that was a challenge. Okay, working for hell was a lot for what I see, and the fate is up to Tyson to choose who will go bye bye in the House of Villains. And baby, everyone's getting back home. And then we hear from our girl Christina saying that, she may need to go. She wanted to go talk to Tyson, but she doesn't really know how the conversation is gonna go. And then baby, next thing you know, we see Plain Jane, Tyson, and Paul at a skating rink in the arena, and they are rollerblading, having themselves a good time. Okay. Out. Tonight's voting to competition, baby. These people is doing some dangerous things in this House of Villains for season 3, episode 1. I'm just saying, they playing a very dangerous game. We got people want to be decoys. We got people trying to put people up and vote against each other. We got people coming downstairs spilling tea because they with the boys. Baby, it's just a whole lot going on. Then we got people in the house talking about really bumping people over, talking about they don't care if he really leaves or not. Baby, what is going on in the house of feelings? So yes, y'all. We get to it's time for the hit list ceremony. And baby, let's just say everybody's got on their best. New York comment and tells Plain Jane she loves her being J Lo. Come to find out, Plain Jane is being Kris Jenner. It's funny. It's a key. Baby, let's say ceremony begins. It's time. And baby, tensions is flying, things is flaring, but they asked Tyson who's he putting up first for elimination, and he says Paul. No one's kind of shocked because we already knew. But his second choice, Christina from Selling Sunset, gaggy. And how we end the episode is her reading him and waiting to see who he's going to pick for the third place on the hit list. Baby, House of Villains, season 3, episode 1, Third Time's a Charm. Good. I'm happy. Shout out to Peacock. Assassin family, thank y'all so much for supporting me, my silent but deadly ninjas. Until next time, it's me, your girl, Pretty Sexy Jar Brand, aka Stunning Assassin. Bye, y'all.